It's a toxic, atmosphere which is, I feel, prevalent not just in the movie industry, but everywhere in the, world, in every field. This is something which will go down in history as the first step for, safety for women.
The HEMA committee report, which was released recently, is quite making a storm in the industry, not even in Malayalam film industry, all over the industries. What is the most important takeaway that you are seeing in that report?
I think, first of all, I have to mention the actors who have come forward and taken such an initiative. It's the first time ever in Indian film industry. Hats off to them for having the guts to come out and say things which were like not ever spoken about openly. This is something which will go down in history as the first step for safety for women in workspaces, not just a film industry, not just the Malayalam film industry, but in every workspace. I think this should give women courage to come forward. But for them to come forward, we need to give them that safe platform to come out and voice and be heard.
Yeah.
And then, to take action. It's not enough to, okay, we all are hearing, we all know what's happening and what's happened in the past, and some of it is really shocked me. Whatever you're hearing now, we've heard even then. Like, there were rumors going around, there were a few women who would come and talk in private, with each other, saying that, so and so person is trying to hit on me, or, so and so person is harassing me or bullying me, for favors. But nobody had the, I think, courage to speak about it openly because obvious reasons. Then they would be banned or boycotted or even shamed themselves,
Yes.
People, even the public would look at them in a different way even if they come out. Like, in the typical Indian mindset, or maybe the world over, even when a rape victim goes to the authorities, the police station, she's shamed first. They are humiliated, and it's not easy for a woman to come out and say such things. First of all, they might not believe her. Secondly, they might doubt her rather than looking into the man's misconduct.
Yeah.
So when something like this happens, it gives a lot of women inspiration and courage. And this is a toxic, atmosphere which is, I feel, prevalent not just in the movie industry, but everywhere in the world, in every field.
It's quite shocking that such a senior actress herself have witnessed such an issue. And in Malayalam film industry, as a viewer, as a woman, it's shocking me. So how do you react to that, ma'am?
It is shocking for me. I have not, seen anything, or in my experience, I have not seen this, or maybe it has not been brought to my notice. Not that it's not happening at all.
Yeah.
Probably it does.
Yeah.
But I'm very, very, distressed and disturbed. Why is it happening so much in Malayalam film industry? Because we have worked, most of my colleagues have worked in all the South languages, mainly like Telugu, Kannada, Tamil. There might be a few people trying to, say some indirectly double meaning things, but if you discourage them, it ends right there and then. But when it comes to Malayalam film industry, I have heard a lot of stories that, how, even in the hotel rooms you're not safe, and, people try to come and knock on your doors at midnight if they sense they're alone. See, in our cases, we were fortunate, like, always have my mother or somebody would be accompanying me. Probably nobody would dare to approach you that way. But a lot of girls don't have that luxury of always having somebody. Maybe they don't have family, or maybe the immediate family is not able to be with them all the time. So how do they protect themselves? It's See, I think what is happening is just the beginning. We have scratched just the beginning.
Tip of the
You have to
iceberg.
dig a lot more, and then you have to come with solutions.
One of the important mentions that is there in the HEMA committee report is that there is a power group in the industry, and like the many powerful people who are controlling or even silencing the victims, and the power group is protecting them. So I'm naming these two actors because they are the big M's in the industry, and they are saying, they were clearly mentioning that there is no such power group in the industry. Don't you think that there is a power group in every industry in India, and is it a very obvious thing that a power group is there and it protects actually some of the perpetrators?
The working atmosphere during our times, mainly in the 80s and early 90s, was absolutely different from what we are seeing now. The people who are powerful, very powerful right now, were upcoming or just success, I mean just seen success at those times. So I myself didn't notice any power group as such as you mentioned. And if it comes to Malayalam industry, I've had the fortune of working with gentlemen like Mr. Prem Nazir and senior actors Sukumar and Soman and Mammootty and Mohanlal, and we were like equals. We were never like that one is superior or the other is inferior, so I can take advantage. If it was not that situation. If you say power groups in general, it exists not just in the movie industry. It works everywhere, whether it's in politics. It's very obvious. And so it must be happening in the film industry because the whole vibe, the whole equations have drastically changed, and the work equations, the work ethics, the way people relate to each other, everything is different. Now when I go, I very rarely do a movie, but when I find the time, like once in 2 years or something, I'm not comfortable because I don't sense that rapport. I don't sense that one-to-one reaching out and that friendly atmosphere. I don't see it. So I'd rather stay away from this and retain my fond memories of my work days.
Rima and Parvati. I mean, once in 2018, Parvati was subjected to horrendous trolling, and right now Rima is being subjected to some like kind of fake allegations and kind of trolling that is been happening in the online world. So how do you exactly react to that? Like the women who are opening up are horrendously victimized. Like
see, this internet and social media is a very, very nasty weapon. It's a nasty space. If you're like totally into it, and if you are not sensitized to what is being said there, then you're destroyed. You should just blind yourself to it. You should not care what's being said on social media at all. But nowadays, some of the media also, unfortunately, are doing this because it's TRPs, it's sensationalism, and everybody wants to be one up on the other, breaking news and all that. So whatever is sensational gets priority.
What are the systemic issues that we need to address immediately in movie industry especially?
In the movie industry,
yes,
you're talking about.
Yeah.
First of all, safety of women should be prioritized, whether it's caravans or safe places for them when they're changing or when they're using the washroom. All that should be very, very strictly adhered to. Now, when it comes to taxes, all of us are scared, right? We don't want to be caught doing anything wrong because then we know we are going to be penalized. So unless there is a penalty in place for, sets where all this is not being taken care of, nobody is going to be scared of it. So similarly for women, there should be rules in place and guidelines in place, and these norms should not be flouted, and if they are flouted, they should be punished. When you're talking about the gender inequality, a lot of things which are never equal. While a hero is placed on a pedestal, like he is like 1,000 miles away, I would say, the rest is like this way. So unless there is some parity, at least in treatment, if not in money or remuneration, at least the way they are treated should be the same. And one should also not forget the junior artists, the technicians, the assistants, the makeup, the hair. A lot of women work in those departments also. So they should also be provided safety, not just the actors. They all are equally at risk in this space. So they should also be thought of. And we have unions. I don't know why. The union should speak up now. It's time they stood up for their members and bring about a change in the system.
Especially when we are speaking about the solutions. Yesterday, Nadigar Sangam put out a notice or a circular saying that every complaints they will be giving legal help and everything. But the problem is the victims are advised not to go to the media, and they are better. I mean, an ICC will be analyzing the complaint first, then they will go for the legal action. So the solutions itself are going problematic, right? Like this, Nadigar Sangam as an association isn't coming under the purview of an employer. So there are umpteen legal issues which are existing over
there. No, I think legal guidelines should be formed now. And no time like now, because this has got everybody's attention. It's got attention globally, I would say. Everybody was talking about it. And so, no, this is the right time to, take action and strike while the iron is hot, because, then once it cools down, again people will be back to their usual normal whatever they are doing, and nobody is going to take, it takes a lot to get to this place, first of all.
More than 100 filmmakers in Kannada film industry have written CM that a committee in the model of HEMA committee should be formed in Kannada industry also. Do you agree with this?
So why not? Why shouldn't it happen? It should, the same safety norms should apply everywhere equally. Why not? It's not just applicable to just one language or one movie industry. It should be the same. I would say common norms should apply everywhere. Be it Hindi, Telugu, Tamil, Kannada, Malayalam, whichever language, it should be a common guideline and norm, and it should be done by the government for it to be implemented seriously. Unions and associations are fine, but they have certain restrictions and limitations as to how far they can impose these guidelines on people. As you said, they are not the employers. They can just advise, but the producer or director or anybody need not necessarily follow what they are saying. You see what I'm saying? You need a proper governing authority who can come into this and say, no, you're not allowed to do this, and we are going to punish you if you do this. So that is the only thing which might deter this kind of behaviors. And it should be, I think, officially done by the government.